Gadgets Live.
It was funny.
Hello, welcome to Brown Dog Gadgets Live. I'm Amanda, the Education Outreach Coordinator here at Brown Dog Gadgets. Behind the camera, I've got Pete.
Here, still.
Today, we are doing Chapter 25 of MicroBit University using our 270-degree servo and a push button.
True.
But before we jump into that, if you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, and YouTube. Also, the guide for what you see today, as well as all of our other projects, products, and templates can be found at browndoggadgets.com. And then if you have any questions while we're streaming, feel free to chat with us. Otherwise, you can always email us at help@browndoggadgets.com. Awesome. All right, Chapter 25, Pete.
Whew, quarter of a, I don't know, century.
100.
Quarter of 100, correct.
All right, let's check it out.
Okay, let's see. That one.
That one.
Okay.
Awesome. So last week we connected our 270-degree servo. Quick side note that I don't think I mentioned last week. This is just put on there so you can see
Oh, yeah.
where it is. Like, you could see the motion.
Right. And people, they get one of those with the servo.
They do.
Yeah, we give you.
With ours.
It might be a different color.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. From us, yes.
Right.
All right.
But, I mean, you could put something longer on there. It's
Oh, yeah.
Technic compatible, so
Yeah.
lots of options.
It is true. Now with normal servos, a lot of times, like people don't, if they don't have anything, they'll put like a little piece of tape or something on there just so you can see it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
As of right
I don't
now,
know why it's hot.
it is
Shouldn't be warm yet. We'll see.
getting ready to serve,
Thanks,
though.
Mike.
Yes.
Got it.
Then our 270-degree servo is connected to pin 13 of the blue.
Dang it, Mike.
Oh, Mike.
Okay, Mike. Thank you.
appreciate
Thank
you.
You're here all week.
If anyone else is here and wants to throw in some jokes, we'd love to hear yours as well. All right, so the 270-degree servo is connected to pin 13 of the blue pins. So the blue pins are our 5-volt pins. It just gives the servo a little bit more oomph, just does a better job.
And more precision, as we learned, I think, 2 weeks ago maybe. But
I think it was last week.
was it? Could be last week.
Yeah, because it was just the servo.
Oh, that's right. I'm already working on the next week,
That's
so
fair.
I'm like, that
Yeah.
was last week, right?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Chapter 1. Oh, and then we've got our push button connected to
Yes.
ground and to pin 5 with our 1/8-inch
Right.
maker tape.
Now, Josh would, of course, if he was here, he would say, oh, you don't need all that tape. You can put the button right between ground and 5 with just a few pieces. I put it there so that we can see it on camera. We can see your finger pressing it, see the trace, the circuits, the tape, and the servo kind of all in scene.
It's a
You know,
nice
just
clear
this-
layout.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you can definitely use less tape if you'd like to.
Yeah, if I'm underpowered, I get a little shaky, that's for sure. Need my...
It's true.
my
We're going to get a little shaky anyway, though, on this first one.
It's right, we are.
Uh-huh. So, Guide A for Chapter 25 is called 270-degree servo wiggle.
Servo wiggle.
And when you hold it down, it wiggles.
It does.
That's what it does.
Wild.
Yeah. Okay,
True.
I'm going to stop doing that, and Pete's
me
going to tell us
see.
all about the code.
Hey, I'm back. And look at that. It's lined up pretty
Yeah, it's pretty good.
good. We're getting good
Yeah.
at this, right?
Getting better.
All right, here's our servo wiggle. Let's get to that code down there. And again, reminder, these are pretty simple guides. They only have a few steps, but we talk about the code a little bit, and then we show a little demo video and talk about what it's doing in that video. And this is sort of our expansion discussion of it.
And side note, if you don't like where it's doing the wiggle on here, you could change the code, or
You
you
could.
could just move the
Yes.
piece.
It's all true.
Magic.
Okay. So here is our, and don't forget you get that simulator over there, which in theory this should make it go, but it doesn't consider A the same as pin 5, even though they're the same.
Right.
So we're just gonna hide that, that's fine. All right, here's our code. What do we got here? So our start, we are gonna set our pull pin because we're connecting a button to pin 5. And then we're right away setting that servo to go to 90 or straight up in the angle orientation we had it.
If you have the piece connected correctly.
If you have your servo plugged in correctly, yes, it'll go to the right place. And then it just waits a second. And then over here, when you press that button, that pin 5 goes to 0, goes low. And then we're going to move that servo to 0, and we're going to move it to 180 with a little pause in between. And if you remember, we talked about how the servo needs a certain amount of time to move, like from one side to the other. And this is telling it like, boom, move there, and then wait 200 milliseconds, move the other side. So you can see when you press that button, it doesn't have enough time to move all the way over. So it keeps trying, it keeps trying to go one way, but then that time expires and it tries to move the other way.
Yep.
And then that time expires. So if you wanted to play around with this, you could change these values and see what it takes to get all the way over. It might take like a second, maybe a second and a half or something, but 200 is definitely not enough.
Nope.
And you can see we just get a wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Or you could even take it shorter and really make it jitter.
Jitter. Ooh, next time servo jitter.
Servo jitter.
That's what we could do.
Yeah. Awesome.
Cool.
A nice, easy one to start off.
That is an easy one.
Yeah. Then guide B is button step.
Button step, yeah. Sure.
So we're going to use the button
More great names.
to take a step.
Yes.
Ooh. So that's my 0, I'm guessing.
Let's see. Did you press the button?
It just decided to do so.
Oh, see, you
I put the new bit
Yeah,
in.
you flipped the thing over, but that's okay.
Okay.
I don't mind. It's fine.
Do you?
Either way, it's fine.
I think you do.
We're just going to call that fine. Good. Okay, excellent. That's the way I like it.
All right.
Okay, so our code. So this time we do something kind of interesting. When we start up, we have a function called call reset servo is our function. And it goes here, and the first thing it does is it sets that angle value to 0.
Which is what it did when I put the MicroBit in.
Yeah, so that's our variable. And then it moves the servo to that 0, to that angle value. And then it waits 1 second. Again, gives it that time to like move, that 1 second there. Over here, we're going to look for our button to be pressed. And when it's pressed, we're going to move the servo to the angle value. Okay, so on that, right away it's at 0, but then it's going to loop through here and going to say, hey, change angle value or increase it, add 25. And we know we're going from 0 to 180, right? Even though the servo moves more than 180. We do a little pause, and then we check if that angle is greater than 180. Because if you keep adding 25 plus 25 and another 25, eventually it's going to get to 180 or higher. And then if you do that, it's going to zip back to the 0 position. And you can also just hold that button down on this one, right? Because there's nothing to prevent it. But you can also press it. So I did think of what could be a fun game for this. What you could do is, and we don't do it in this one, but you could, instead of this 25, you could move it, say, a random number between like, let's say 0 and 21 maybe, I don't know. And then you could see how many times you press it without going too far. So think of it like blackjack or 21, I think, where it's like, ooh, it's like, hit me, press it again. And it's going to get closer and closer to the end. But if you go too far, you get shot back to 0. That could be a simple game that you could build with this sort of code, this sort of setup, You could add in like a little piece of paper under the servo with an arrow that points or something, so,
So, and then when it calls the reset servo, it's already at 0. And the first pin press does not change the value before pressing it, right?
Yeah,
so it has that like hesitation at 0.
Yeah,
well,
because try that.
I already pressed it once, but
Yep. And we could adjust that if we just changed the code like that. Yeah. But I'm glad you caught that. Those are the kind of things where it's like those little things where, and we'll get into more of that in a few more examples today, but I'm glad you did notice that. And it is funny how just like rearranging a few certain things can kind of, change the behavior.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
Guide C.
All right.
is servo selector.
It is. Let's look at the code for that one. Okay. So this one, if you just do a press, what it's going to do, we kind of think of this as like you spin the wheel or you roll the dice. So it's like, it's thinking, it's moving around. What's it going to do? And then it stops.
Yep.
So that's kind of that. You can call this sort of like I don't want to call it the spin the bottle, but sort of like whatever. Or you could make some sort of crazy effect where that's like you've got a gauge and a needle and it's jumping around. So sort of a random number generator connected to a servo. So press it again, see what happens. Where's it going to go this time? It's like, I'm thinking I'm going to go there. So you could, have students line up and then just see which one it points to. I don't know. You're the former teacher. You tell me.
No, I like it.
We loop 20 times, and again, we're only pausing 100 milliseconds, so it doesn't have a lot of time to like move and stop. So it's just going to keep jumping around until that very last time where it's going to pause, and then it's going to break out of that loop and just sit there and wait.
Right.
So, and you could change these values. You could change that value a little bit. Again, change it from 20. That's wherever you can type in a number, you can change it. The random, of course, I did 30 to 150, which should go like sort of 180 degrees roughly, versus our 270. But you could always expand that or lower it, whatever.
And if you hold this one, it just keeps going.
Yeah, after it does the 20, it'll keep going.
There we go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Great.
And then you took the selector but added a list.
We did. So, instead of just saying random, let's look at the code. Why am I talking? So instead of just doing a random anything between 30 and 150, this time what we did was we built a list. And I should note, sometimes you'll see it's called set list to array of, and if you look down here in arrays, that's kind of the default name for that variable, or that array is list. In different languages, list and array, one might be used more than the other. They're pretty much interchangeable. It's a list or a bunch of things. So there's also like multi-dimensional arrays. So lists, I think, are usually like a single item, where like hashes and multi-dimensional arrays might have like a key and value pair, and then there's a bunch of those. Without getting too complex, that stuff gets a lot more complex than like we have to do here. But I figure I just mentioned it a little. Let's see what Mike has to say. Ooh, very good. Yeah,
Thanks,
I'm trying to hit all this. So like a lot of times we just use the same things because we're doing the same sort of things. And there's always more than one way to do things. But I did want to make sure we sort of covered the arrays in there, or lists, either way.
Absolutely.
So all we're doing here is we're creating this thing called list. It's an array of these numbers, okay? So then what that allows us to do is you could say, hey, give me list item 0. It would be 0. Give me list item 2. It would be 0, 1, 2. It would be 90, right? So you can sort of address the list numerically. So over here...
What else did Mike have to say?
Oh, let's see what Mike had to say. Yes, arrays of arrays, correct. That's sort of the way. I was thinking of... is a hash I'm trying to think what a hash is. Something maybe of like Perl or something where it's a key value kind of pairs. If that's, an associative array. I can't remember what it's called in whichever language, but Mike will tell us in about a minute after he hears me say
That's true. After the delay, after him typing.
Yes, after our broadcast delay.
Yep.
So this time what we're doing is saying set the angle value to list, and then normally right here you would type in a number like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever in the list. But we're saying, hey, just pick a random one between 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So each time it's going to select one of those, and then it's going to move the servo to whichever one. So it's going to move it to one of those values between 0 and 180. So press that button again.
Well, and this reminds me.
Now, did you catch the bug there?
Yes, I did.
Did you? You want to tell us about it?
So there are times where if you press it and then it picks the same number, random number on the list,
Right.
it won't move.
Well, it moves. It just moves to the same position, kind of. Yeah, no, it doesn't move.
It doesn't.
Okay. Oh, what's Mike got here? Relational arrays. Yeah, dictionaries. That's right. And I think in Perl, it's like what did I say before? Associative array. I can't remember. But yeah, every language might have a slightly different term for it. And I don't know that they exist in MakeCode, but again, probably it doesn't matter for the stuff you're doing.
Well, before you jump into what you're talking about, I was going to say before I needed to actually talk about the bug, was that this reminds me a lot of in younger grades rolling a die and then tracking what numbers get hit.
Oh, right.
And doing the statistics of that.
Stats, yeah.
So this could definitely fall into that same category.
Yeah.
And would be really cool for that.
Yeah, and I think it's like when I shot the video for this one, I probably pressed it like 10 times, and I think I hit twice where it didn't move because it got the same. And again, we're only selecting from a list of 5 items. So what are the chances? No, I'm asking you, what are the chances? 1 in 5?
1 in 5. Yeah.
Is that like 20%?
If you upped the list though and divided it out so you had 6 different positions, and you could make like a little template on here for each position, then you could do something extremely similar to using a die.
Yeah, and this too we'll probably do the same type of thing when we get to like the 7-segment display, because we can show a numerical value, and that's how I think it's a nice way to show you can translate from like a servo, a number of LEDs, like the built-in matrix to like a numerical display. So that's that one. That's pretty simple, right? All right. What are we on? E?
We're on E, selector list better version 1.
Yeah, sometimes my names are just out of control.
Version 1.
That would suggest there's more than one. A chore spinner, yeah, that's where thinking like spin the wheel, whatever. I'm not sure what a chore is though, Mike.
You got to make a template for it.
Did you mean chord, like a musical chord? Maybe
No.
you just spelled it wrong. I know Mike spelling errors sometimes. Okay. Did you press that button?
I did, and it did not duplicate.
Yeah. So this time what we did was, this is the same, we've got our angle value. We also have something called angle val prev, or angle value previous. So we're going to track what the last angle value was. And so over here, what we're going to do is we say, while angle value is equal, so it's saying like, hey, we now have a new angle value, right? Is it the same as the previous one? If it is, we're going to try to select a new one. So it's going to get stuck in this while loop as long as the new value is the same as the old value.
Right.
So it'll only break out of this loop once we get a new value that's different from the previous one.
Yep.
So yeah, as you press that button, you'll see it should never now get the same one, because we're keeping track of it, making sure we don't hit it again. So yeah.
Looks good.
Pretty simple there. And then again, move the servo. And that's where we keep track of it. We set it to the old one after we're done with everything. So
now, since you actually have to have a button press for it to change, do you need that pause in there at the end?
Probably not.
Just curious. It's more for my understanding of MakeCode than anything.
Right. Yeah, and again, my disclaimer is we're trying to crank out these.
Yeah.
I did 6 examples this week.
Yeah.
So every now and then, and a lot of times, like this example is built on the previous one. So maybe I had it in for the previous one. We could take it out, see if it does anything.
I was just curious.
If you hold that button down, will it? Oh yeah. So that's what the pause is doing. It's giving it that little bit of time to move. I think.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Very little bit.
That logic change, it is kind of a debalance. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we talked about that before. That's why we had that pause in there. And I'm glad I had you press the button to remember what that one does. This is the most code I've written in a long time, and I've written a lot of codes.
Yeah.
It's like new code every week.
It's true.
So that was
E, and then our final
at the end.
and sixth
I know.
guide for this chapter.
The last three are pretty similar, but
This
small
is just
improvements
selector
along
list better version 2.
the way. It is. And there's a bunch more code in here. Look at this. So this time, what we add is we've got this. We're also tracking the previous button value, not just the previous angle value. And over here, again, this looks. One thing I want to mention is before. Remember, we had just like pick random between this and this. This time, we're using something in the array functions called length of list. So what it's going to do is if we go over here and add more numbers, 44. Oh, that's not.
That's not a number.
I gotta look and whatever. Now we don't have to come over here and type in some other number.
Right.
It's just gonna look at that list and automatically know. Automagically is a programming term. Okay.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, he'll tell you that in about a minute. Anyway, so we've got that stuff over there in our start, in our loop, in our forever here. So the first thing we're going to do is set the button value, and we're going to read that button. Is it high? Is it 1? Or is it low? And is it pressed and it's 0? And then we're going to check if the values are not equal to each other. Because when we start, we set them both to that, and we assume within, 100th of a millisecond that won't change on startup, and they're going to be the same. So we're going to check if they are not equal, and then if they are not, we're going to do our thing. We're going to say if that button value is equal to 0, meaning it's pressed down.
Yep.
We're going to set the value to, so we're basically going to read that pin again once you press it down, right? And then it's going to check if the on state is 0. And where is our on? Oh yeah, so we set our on state to 0 here, right? So that's just a variable that is checking the state of the button, as it were. Well, that's how we're using it. And then it's going to come over here and say, okay, so we've pressed our button, it's held down. We're going to say, okay, our button is in the on state 0. We jump down here, and this is again where we check if the value has changed or if it's the same, because that's going to tell us if we move our servo or not. And again, it's going to loop through here until those values are different. Comes down here. It's going to move the servo. It's going to track that value again. And then it's going to come over here and check the value, or track the value of our button. So the difference here, if you press and hold that button down, what do you get? You get nothing.
Nothing until
release.
I release.
So it's on release. But if you hold it down, it won't do that thing where we have to pause and we have to watch it go a bunch of times. It's waiting for that button to be released. So that's where this all comes into play, where we read that value, we check if they're different, and then we kind of loop here. So we're basically like in the stuck holding pattern while you're holding the button down. And then once you release it, it can do the other stuff. So, and that might be weird behavior to some people. Where like, oh, I pressed the button, I think it's going to do something, but it's actually doing it on release.
Right.
But if you press and release the button, you probably don't notice. It's only when you press and hold it down that you're like, hey, it didn't do anything. And then you release and it does it. And I did realize one thing we didn't really do when we did buttons before is we didn't get into short press versus long press. And you can also do a thing where, like, if you've got two buttons, you can read if either one is pressed, but you can also read both of them are pressed. So
Yeah.
the way to do that is like you set a timer and then you check for like when it was released. So that's another thing where it's looking, you can check on the press, but you can also check on the release. And you can do a little more. Buttons are like super tricky. I know they're really simple, like press a button, do a thing, but there's a lot of different behavior around them, and I think we've explored some of that so far, but more to come.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that is the rest of chapter 25 with our 270-degree servo.
Yeah.
Next week, we've got, I think, spinning-eyed monsters on Tuesday.
Yes.
No, that's the following week.
What?
Next week is Sir Skeleton.
Yes, we have
Sir Skeleton.
the skeleton.
And then
fella.
spinning-eyed monsters?
Yeah, and then the monsters, and then we're doing the MicroBit with a potentiometer and a servo.
Yeah.
Which I'm already working on. So.
Perfect.
Oh, what did Mike say? He said, automatically, it's absolutely, automagically, Mike, it's automagically. He'll get it one of these days. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for your.
He had
input,
trouble
Mike.
spelling anything in that one, though. So.
It's true.
Yeah.
I think if he tried to spell something wrong, he might get it right, and then
That's true.
It's even more confusing then. I don't even know.
If you have not followed us on our social media platforms, please do so. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, and YouTube. Also, the guide for chapter 25 and all of our other projects, products, and guides can be found at browndoggadgets.com.
True.
And feel free to email us if you have any questions at help@browndoggadgets.com.
Yeah.
We hope to see you next week.
Cool.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Please visit browndoggadgets.com for parts, projects, and curriculum. Follow us on social media at browndoggadgets. We'll see you next time.